Good afternoon, guys. I hope you're doing a good job for Miss Erickson. We're going to continue reading our story from Shredderman. But I thought Cal and Emery would want to say hi too, so say hi, guys.
Hi.
They just woke up from a nap, but they're a little tired. Cal, what are you holding?
A fire truck.
Oh, is that Marshall from Paw Patrol?
Yeah.
Yeah. Emery, who do you have?
Yeah.
Mia, can you show? Show Mia. There's Mia. What kind of animal is Mia?
Cat. Meow.
Kitties go meow, don't they? And so we'll continue reading Shredderman. So think about what happened last time we read. We're getting to know Nolan Bird and the different things he's doing. He's got a big project for Mr. Green, and he's going to try to investigate Bubba Bixby and try to catch him in the act of a few things. He's got his spy gear made, and he's in the process of trying to catch him. So I hope you enjoy the next couple chapters of the story, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
And today we are going to be reading from chapter 5 of Shredderman's Secret Identity. And this chapter is titled Secret Identity in chapter 5. And so we'll get to learn a little bit more about that. By the end of the day, Miriam's hair was missing a chunk. Slow Jim, the class tortoise, had a new design on his shell, and Ian and Danielle's green sheets had disappeared. I thought I'd gotten a picture of Slow Jim's run-in with the magic markers. I really did. But at recess, when I hid in the bathroom stall and checked out the shot, all I saw was Bubba's butt. It took up the whole frame. I was too slow with Ian and Danielle, too. Their green sheets were gone before I could get ready. So I got no good shots the first day, but I didn't give up. I started taking my backpack everywhere with me because, one, I didn't want anything to happen to my camera, and two, I didn't want to miss catching Bubba red-handed. Kids called me a nerd, but for once I didn't care. Not that much, anyway. I was on assignment. I was on a mission. Bubba started it. I was going to finish it. All week, during lunch recess, I didn't play Foursquare. I wore my backpack and tried to get better at taking pictures with my back turned. I wrote down what I was doing with a little notebook. Every shot, then I went into a bathroom stall with my backpack and scanned through the pictures. Sometimes the remote hadn't worked. Sometimes I was off by a mile. My notes would say, Miriam at the fountain. My shot would be at half of somebody I didn't even know. Then, on Friday, I caught him. On camera, in the act of dumping one of the trash cans, looking over his shoulder, can in the air, trash flying out. It was the perfect shot. I stayed in the stall for 10 minutes looking at it. After school, I got to work. I loaded the picture onto my computer, tweaked the color, cut the frame. It was beautiful. And now, what? I had to write an article. Actually, according to the green sheet, I had to write a lot of articles, one of which was supposed to be an interview. Uh-oh. And now that I had my picture, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. What was going to happen to me anyway once I turned my project in? Mr. Green always displayed projects. Everyone would see it. Which was what I wanted, only now I was scared. When Bubba saw it, he'd pound me. The more I thought about it, the more stupid doing a project on Bubba Bixby seemed. If only there was a way for everyone to see it, but not have anyone know who'd done it. But how was I going to do that? I took a break to watch The Gecko and Sticky. It was another rerun, but it was one of my favorite episodes. In it, Chase Morton, who is the Gecko, and Sticky, who is a gecko, saved the town from the clutches of Damien Black. It's one of my favorites because in the end, Damien falls into a pit of tarantulas. You should see him freak out and call, Mommy, Mommy. It's hilarious. But after the show was over, I went back to thinking about my project. How was I ever going to do it without Bubba knowing it was me? Maybe I should just change subjects. Dad and Mom still ask me about my project, but not as much. And and I knew that Dad was sort of upset that I didn't want his help. Maybe I should just forget about Bubba. I'd lived with him this long. I could survive a couple more years, right? But something about the past few days had made me feel strong, like I was finally doing something about being pushed around. But I didn't know where to go from here. Forward was scary, but back seemed worse. I decided to do a little extra credit math puzzle Mr. Green had passed out. They were always fun, but as I was going through my binder, I saw the fractions time trial, level 42E, 100%. Nolan, you shred, man. Maybe. Maybe everyone else thought I was a nerd, but Mr. Green didn't. He thought I shred. It was like he could see the Nolan that was hidden by the nerd. And that's when I got the idea. Maybe I could have a secret identity, like Chase Morton was the Gecko, and Clark Kent was Superman, and Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Maybe I could become someone else, someone better than the nerd. Inside, I had lots of ideas that were cool and funny. Inside, I was strong and quick. I didn't trip on my shoelaces. Inside, I had room for lots of friends. I leaned back in my chair and closed my eyes. I pictured myself in a superhero's costume. I thought about what superpowers I could have. Maybe I'd have an eye that was really a camera lens. Cool. Maybe I'd have a telekinetic powers that could move stuff around. Double cool. Or maybe I could fly. I've always thought that that would be the absolute coolest. I opened my eyes and sat up. Flying. Jeez. The only flying I've ever done was off a swing, and I almost broke my arm landing. That was one time that, and one time I was when I animated a picture of myself so it flew across my computer screen. Thinking about that made something in my brain go snap, and for a minute, I just sat there with my eyes wide open, frozen in place. Then I jumped straight out of my chair. Maybe I couldn't fly around on the playground or in the classroom, but I could fly, and I could have a secret identity on the internet. My mind was spinning like crazy. My legs were walking me all over my room. What if I built a website and posted my project on it? I could totally shred on Bubba. I could put up pictures, stories, jokes, evidence. It would be all Bubba all the time. Oh, yeah. I logged onto my computer and started typing like crazy. I needed a domain name for my website. What was my secret identity going to be? Not nerd.com. No, no way. More like shred.com. Yeah, I went to the registration site to see if it was taken. Drat! It was. I tried ushred.com. Available, but sorta lame. The Shredder. How about that? It'd be like the Gecko. I typed it in. Taken. Then all of a sudden I had it. Shredderman. Like a superhero flying through cyberspace fighting for truth and justice. It was perfect. I typed it in with my fingers crossed. Not an easy thing to do. But then the screen flashed that with this domain is still available. Oh yeah! I jumped up and pumped in the air with my fists. Shredderman! I was on my way to becoming a cyber superhero. So he's looking for a website name, right? So you can buy your own website domain name. There's whole companies that run domain names, and you can buy one, but you do have to pay for them. And that's what he's looking for is a registration name. You can't just go and like take Pepsi.com, right, or Apple.com. Like those are already taken. Somebody's paid for those. So you have to come up with a unique one that no one has taken, and then you have to pay for it. And that is how website names come around. And so that'll be the problem that he's going to come up to with chapter 6, building the site. So just kind of a heads up. That's how those things work. You can have whatever website you name as long as you get there first and pay for it and keep paying for it. No one can know a superhero's identity, not even his mother. So I wound up promising her I wasn't doing anything bad, wound up begging her to trust me, wound up on my knees, waving cash in the air, praying for her to give me her credit card number. It costs money to put up a website, you know. I also wound up cleaning my room. How can I trust a boy with a messy room? She would ask me. I didn't see the connection, but I made it shipshape anyway. Then came the refrigerator. Maybe she can't trust a boy with a messy refrigerator. Don't ask me, I just cleaned it. Also the kitchen sink, then the driveway. Dad came home and they talked it over. Dad shrugged a lot. Mom shook her head plenty. I couldn't hear a word of what they were saying. After dinner, I cleared the table, loaded the dishes, emptied the garbage. Trust was everywhere. Finally, Mom sat me down and said, "All right. Woohoo! Only I'm going to type in the number." "No, Mom, you can't. This is top secret. It's vital to the operation that I do it myself." "To the operation? Nolan, what are you up to?" "Mom, please write it down on a piece of paper. I'll give it back. I'll give it right back. You can burn it. I'll never use it again. Promise." She just frowned at me. "Have I ever done anything you wouldn't want me to?" She was quiet for a minute, then said, "We're not talking about the recycling paper in the bathroom sink, right? Or microwaving the ice cream carton for 5 minutes to make a milkshake? Or luring an ant invasion outside it with a trail of sugar water? No, we're talking big things." "Right." She thought some. "Oh no, but you are approaching puberty." "Mom, I'm in the 5th grade." Dad was in the room. He shrugged. Mom closed her eyes. Finally, she sighed and said, "This is the one and only time I'm going to do this. You'd better not let me down, Nolan." "I won't, Mom. I promise I won't." "Okay, then." Shredderman.com became mine that night. Web Builder came flying through cyberspace seconds later, complete with an easy launch instructions. I had the tools, I had the site. Time to start building. But I'd barely had a chance to print out the instructions when my mom knocked on the door. I shut off my computer monitor. "Come in." "Honey, it's past your bedtime." "But it's Friday." Her eyes narrowed. Her hands punched both sides of her waist. "Oops, sorry," I said. "I'm going." I went all right, but I couldn't sleep. All I could think about was being Shredder Man. And besides, superheroes don't need sleep, right? So when Mom and Dad went to bed, I waited until I was sure they were asleep. Then I booted up and got building. By morning, my homepage had an awesome look. Cool font, radical colors. Across the top was "Welcome to Shredderman.com, where truth and justice prevail." Then a purple and gold Shredderman banner waved as a masked cartoon guy zoomed from one corner of the screen to the other. That was the hard part, but it was so, so cool. At 6:30, I heard the toilet flush. I saved quick, then shut down the computer, hid the instructions under my pillow, and hopped into bed. The next thing I knew, Mom was shaking me, saying, "Nolan, Nolan, it's nearly noon, honey. You've got to get up." Noon? How could it be noon? I sat up. Had I dreamt the whole thing? My hand shot under the pillow. Nuh-uh. The instructions were right there. "Are you all right?" she asked me. "You've got bags again." I I couldn't get to sleep. She said. "Well, it's definitely time to get up. Your dad's gone to work for a few hours, and I want to get some groceries." She patted my leg. "Come on, honey." I dragged behind her in the store. I dragged some more, carrying in the groceries. But the instant she told me I could go to work on my computer, zingo, I woke right up. Time to shred. I spent Saturday night up all night again, and Sunday I was worthless. Again, Sunday night I tried to forget about Shredderman and get some sleep. I couldn't be worthless at school. I had time trials to ace. Pictures of Bubba to take. Lots more pictures of Bubba. My computer was shut down, but my brain wasn't. At 11:15, I finally gave in, snuck out of bed, and by the time the toilet was flushing Monday morning, the site was really shaping up. I had Bubba Jokes link that had stuff like, question, why did the bully steal the trick-or-treater's candy bag? Answer, he wanted some Bubba gum. And what do you call a bully fire? A barbecue. And why did run from a bully? He's got bubonic plague. I had Bubba caught in the act linked where I posted a picture of him dumping the trash can over the ground. And my favorite, a link called Bubba's Big Butt. That's all it was, too. Just a picture I'd taken of Bubba's butt. Made me laugh every time I clicked on the link. I also had a link that said, what's big and fat and smells all over? Click here. And that took you straight back to the same picture. It had been a great night. I shut down quick and got packed for school. Camera? Check. Memory card? Check. Recharge battery? Check. Remote control? Check. I even remembered to put my socks on first. I wasn't tired. I wasn't weird. I wasn't tired. I was wired. Wired and ready to shred. And tomorrow we'll pick up on Chapter 7, Flipporama. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Talk to you guys later.